What's up, everyone? Today we're talking about Stranger Things season 3. Uh, I feel like a lot of people probably say like this or season 2 are their least favorite. When this came out, this was actually like when I was done watching it, like this was actually probably my favorite season. Uh, I don't think so now. Like rewatching, I feel like I like season 1 just a little bit more. But this, I mean, I love like 80s action movies and like I just love like the 80s 90s action movies and just like I don't know, a little bit like this. I mean, this was a little bit over, like slightly like over the trying to be like over the top, like kind of yeah, like an 80s action packed like movie, but also at the same time it had like a lot of comedy in it as well. Like is a definite like tonal switch. I mean, it still has like the vibes of that, like the Spielberg King vibe, but it's kind of in the background now, where it's almost like they just have their own formula, you know? Like, this is where I don't know, kind of like a third album of a band. It's like that's where they usually like I feel like, usually hit their stride, or like that's like usually like their big one, you know? I mean, like Metallica, you got Master of Puppets, Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast, uh, you know. Um, anyways, yeah, like I really love this season. It's uh, it's it's definitely different. It from going from 1 and 2 to this is definitely a pretty big switch up. I feel like this is where they start get. I don't know. This is where they got like really big, like almost kind of like a. It's not as bad as like not nearly as bad as Shameless. They're like The Office. Sorry, I'm smoking. Sorry. Where it's like they got so popular that they not say like got full of themselves, but or like Always Sunny. That's another show that you can throw in there. Like they become almost like caricatures of themselves. Uh, Sometimes shows do it in a bad way. Sometimes it's just like you can tell something's a little missing, but it's still good. This one, it's not there yet. This is just like a, you know what I mean. You can tell it's like it's starting to get on that like a roller coaster climbing up the the hill, and then it's gonna like go down and actually fucking the ride begins. But anyways, um, this I don't know. I really like the story. That's more or less like the storylines and what like kind of little influences you on the story and like the world that intrigued me more. I get like to start off, obviously, cast did an amazing job, like always. Um, Obviously, I feel like I'm trying to think of like the standouts of the kids. And obviously, like Elle, she's always like one of the standouts. I feel like Max got to shine a little bit in here with like the shit going on with like Billy and stuff, but I mean just a little bit. It's not like season 4 where she actually gets like pushed to the forefront. It's just like they kind of, what I mean, like they give a little bit more with the what the hell are their last names? Max and Billy, like Hardgrove or something like that. They get like, definitely Billy. Billy is like in the forefront this season, which is pretty cool. Um, but yeah, everyone always does an amazing job, especially like especially the kids for the most part. I mean, there might be a scene here and there where it's like, I mean, they're kids. They're not like I mean, like by season 3, like they've all had like a lot of experience. I mean, it's 3 seasons of the show, and I'm sure they've done other things before Stranger Things to get into acting and stuff. But uh, maybe like a scene or here where it's like you know child acting, but for the most like 99.9% of the time they always do a phenomenal job. Then you have like the adults like Hopper and like Winona Ryder and um well, Paul Reisner wasn't really in it until like the very end of this season, so I wouldn't include him. Like the guy that did Alexei, even though he speaks only a little bit of Russian, he did a pretty decent job. He's funny. Murray was funny in the. I'd say out of the grown up, like the adults, like I'd say Murray was the weakest link, and I mean he's not bad. Like the only scene I'm thinking of is like when he runs up to uh, Joyce and he's like, Joyce, Joyce, where's Jim? Like that'd be like the only like the scene that kind of makes him take that title for me. But overall, like cast is always phenomenal. Like you can rarely knock the cast for their acting unless it's like one like a kid, and that is just. I mean, you got to take that with a little grain of salt or like a little asterisk on the side. I mean, it's a they're kids, but yeah, the storyline I thought is pretty sick. You got like the mind flayer or like entity or spirit, I guess, like wasn't like truly gone after they closed the gate, and whatever's left, like kind of Billy's the first target. Like he is on his way to go bang the Wheeler's mom at some like fucking some shitty little hotel, and along the way, uh, he gets captured by the mind flayer, and then begins one of my favorite I don't know like aspect. I don't know. They went on full like invasion of the body snatchers, uh, where it's like everyone is being like Billy's like turning everyone into these like pretty much into the hive mind, into they're getting flayed, and it's just I don't know some of the scenes throughout the season where it's like you figure out like this person's flayed and like they're running away or like they're fighting them and like they have like superhuman almost like superhuman strength and just I don't know it's some of these scenes are pretty fucking sick. Like one Nancy and Jonathan are in the hospital and the guy that runs the newspaper uh and like his like the like blonde haired like latchkey guy they show up and they're just like beating the shit out of Jonathan and like chasing down Nancy like that like I thought Jonathan was gonna die. Even like I forgot about that scene on rewatch and I was like holy fuck, I'm like Jonathan's about to die. Like it's even though like you've seen it before, it's you still it still gets you, it still pulls you in because like that some of the I was like Jesus Christ, they're like this season they just put Jonathan through a ringer, and I'm all here for it. Like I thought it was good, but yeah, I really like that aspect, like like he's flaying people and turning them into like a hive mind type thing, like yeah, like Invasion of the Body Snatchers and stuff, and then they all these people are like the rats at the beginning where I don't know what the fuck they're just I don't know spontaneously combust and like they're this like big ball of like meat goop and they for like the people and all that like they're forming together and they make like the mind flayer like the like the shadow creature thing in the upside down, but in this world it's flesh, which is badass. Like this even though it has like a more like the color palette's like all vibrant and neon because of the 80s, which like that style of the 80s, which I love. Like, again, like I love that version. Like, I love the 80s in general. I was born in 94. I wish I got to experience like being like a, I don't know, like a fucking 12, 13-year old experience in the 80s, like as a kid. That would have been sick. Or just like, I don't know. Or honestly, I'd probably rather be like 18 or something so I could try to do music. But anyways, that's, that style of the 80s. I just love that. And even though it has that, it does feel like with what's going on, like mind flare wise and stuff, it does sometimes feel a little darker to me, like more like grotesque, I guess. Um, but yeah, I thought out of the first three seasons, this is my favorite. Uh, I mean, don't get me wrong, Demodogs, Demogorgon, badass. Like I love those creatures, but the Mind Flayer is just so fucking brutal. Uh, but besides that, like my one of my favorite parts of this season would have to be. I mean, I know, he's over the top in this one. Like this is like, I feel like his. I wouldn't say like jump the shark. Like I'm not trying to like do that, but he's definitely very like over the top and not really the same Jim. I mean, you have to think of like the shit that they went through, but he's not really the same Jim Hopper from the previous two seasons. Like he a lot more comedy and like the scene where he gets stood up by Joyce and he's like gets all fucking drunk and he just like takes the bottle and he's like I'm chief police. I can do what I want. And just him like with Elle and Mike like dating and like he's being like the overprotective father and stuff like that and it's very it's good comedy. Like it fits. It fits. It's not really. I mean, it's over the top, but I feel it just works. Like I don't know, especially when they don't yeah, they break up or whatever, and like it's like Elle slams the phone. Like it's not like an actual scene where she's like, "I dumped your ass." It's just like they're talking. It's before that. It's like they're talking and like she knows Will's lying, not Will, but Mike's lying, and she hangs up the phone, and then he's like, "What's the matter, kid?" And she just like slams the door or whatever, and then it cuts to him singing "You Don't Mess Around with Jim." Like I don't know, just a lot of good funny scenes, or like him arguing with Alexi over the fucking strawberry and cherry uh, slushies, and just and then like when he has Alexi, he tosses him out and like is acting like he like is like calling his bluff that he's not gonna escape and stuff. Like I don't know. There's just a lot of great scenes, like the back and forth between him and like Murray or him and Joyce and stuff. It's I don't know. This is season three Hopper. I don't know. I do love season one Hopper too. Damn, that's hard. I'd say season one or season three Hopper. I would argue my favorite Hoppers by far. Uh, I mean he's my favorite. He's got to be my favorite character in the show. He's great. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't know. He's probably like the standout for the cast to me. But there's a lot of badass moments like the final episode or two when like the whole group is in Starcourt Mall and like you have like the showdown with the Mind Flare and just I don't know like the bite like I don't know is it's in the it's in the cabin scene where she gets bit and it's like a part of the Mind Flayer is like stuck inside her leg. Like that scene when Jonathan is like digging around in her leg is got to be that was honestly the hardest thing to watch in this season. Like I think I actually like kind of like closed my eyes a little bit and like looked away, like just like the visual of like his fingers in the leg, like oh god. But yeah, this up until this point, or yeah, this is like the biggest episode that they've done. I feel like the Battle for Starcourt, which I thought is a great finale, especially like yeah. I remember when I first watched it. I'm pretty sure I cried like losing Jim and stuff, and like Elle reading the note at the end. But I don't know. I kind of ramble and I don't really have like a structured um like form like speech or like little script to go over when I do these. I just kind of get pictures of what I want to kind of talk about or like points, and then I just ramble on. Uh, but yeah, like another yeah, it's like just talking about like badass scenes or like good scenes that kind of stuck in my mind. Like I like the. I mean, we're working up to this one, but like yeah, the whole scene like when they're in the cabin and the mind flayers, it's like fucking the tentacles are like coming in one after the other. I thought that was a great scene, like suspenseful and like I don't know, kind of gives me like it's like action, but it gives you like a it's like a horror uh feel. I mean, like I know it's not like dark or like spooky or scary or anything, but it's just like this. I don't know. Sometimes like in the day, like when shit happens in like the daylight, adds a whole like visceral effect to it. And I thought I don't know, just that like the fucking cabin's just being demolished and like this fucking like monster made of human flesh and animal flesh is just like I don't know, like fucking attacking them in like these like weird like almost yeah like tentacles that have like these giant fucking spikes or I don't know that scene was always pretty cool to me. I love the scene where they're at the whole sequence when they're at the carnival or the fair. I don't really know what it's called. We don't really we get like a little uh yeah, I wouldn't even Port Huron. I wouldn't even call it like a fair. It's like this little parking lot, and it has like a couple rides, and like the just like the stupid little games. I guess it'd be like a little fair. It's not a circus, I know, but that whole scene where it's like he's like running through the fun house and stuff. That is pretty cool. I always thought it was a little there's more action to it. Like I thought he fought the Terminator guy there for like a because he gets his ass kicked by him in Hawkins' lab, which uh that's a pretty good scene. And then you have the scene where oh yeah, when they're on the farm and she fights him for a second time and he actually I mean he uses a wrench to beat him, but he actually like clubs the Terminator guy and like they run off and he's like fucking shooting the gun up through the floor. Like that was pretty intense. Then yeah, then you have like that the circus or fair scene where he's like in the fun house and he's like I don't know, almost like I don't know, reminds me of like I could see that in like a fucking Indiana Jones or like an old school Bond or something where like it's just like looking at the like you know like the structure and then it's like it doesn't follow our character just like he goes in like you just hear like you know like those old school punches and like hits and stuff and then one of the bad guys just goes flying out or like tossed over the edge and I don't know I thought that scene was pretty cool. Sadly we lose Alexi in that scene, which I thought he is a good character. I mean like he's such a minor. I mean, he has like some important things, but he's such like a minor character that I mean, it's not like you're like too sad to see him go, but it was all like, ah, I was starting to like him, you know. But this scene, this, yeah, this is one of the. I feel like this is one of the best scenes in the season, if not the show. Like talking about like action sequences wise. Um, just the final showdown between these two characters in this environment was so like nail biting that I mean I figured Hop was gonna win, but then like when he wins, he's cut off. He can't get back. And then you get the whole scene where it Joyce has to make the choice and he's like looking up at Joyce with like tears in his eyes and he like shakes his head like damn, like that. Damn, like it almost got me a second time when I was rewatching it. But I mean obviously we know now like being like what was it like fucking 6 years ago, Hop doesn't die, but he, we're meant to believe so. But yeah, that's I don't know, just all the like everything building up to like the climax of all this, like the kids' storyline, uh, like their storyline, like just everything going down in Hawkins. I don't know, it's pretty good. Like I feel like the pacing was a lot better in this season than like season two. The thing that hurts this season, I feel like they were a little too much on the comedy. Um, oh yeah, one thing I forgot. Robin was added to this season, which again, that's not a bad thing. I enjoy her character a lot. I think I enjoy her the most in this season. Um, I'm not really enjoying her in season five. Like she's just okay. She's just kind of annoying a little bit. Uh, but that's a season five talk for another day, another week. But yeah, I'd give this a 9, maybe like a 9.25. I'd give it this. I'd probably give it the same score as season one. But if we're like actually ranking the seasons, it would be 1, 3, 2. Like 9.25, 9.25 or 9 for season 3, and then probably a 9 for season 2. I mean, uh, I haven't published the while I'm making this one. I haven't published the season 2 video, so I don't know the exact score I'm gonna give it. In the video I said 8.75 or 9. So, but yeah, it's just there's so many. I don't know. It's just this season was so great. The over stuff of comedy kind of throws it, uh, hurts it a little bit. Not like throws it down, but knocks it a little bit from being my favorite season. Especially the scene with the Never Ending Story song. That I find like borderline. Like I think it's funny for like the first 10, 15 seconds, and then it's like we're really going through the fucking song. Like we're really sitting here. Like I feel like Hopper. Like I actually feel like fucking Hopper when he's listening to it. Like I'm just like, do we really? Like I almost skipped it. I legit almost skipped it. I was like, I can't do this. Other than that, I think this show is just. I started watching it back in 2016 when it came out, and each season just blows me. Like I love it. Each one in their own way. Like there's such great stories, and like obviously they're all connected, but it's like each season is so great in its own right that I feel bad comparing them to each other, because they all feel different in their own way, and it's like they're self-contained, like you know what I mean, like I feel like they're very like self-contained to their own season, but also obviously overarching plot and like character arcs and things like developing within the world, you know what I mean? But it's man, I love this show. I'm glad that I decided to rewatch it and review it for the show for the new season. But anyways, It's gonna do it for me. Again, like I said, I give it like a 9.25. We'll find out when I'm done editing if I can talk. But anyways, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in either review of Season 4, or maybe if, we also do, a lot of game videos. You probably see them on the channel. Check those out. We also do movie reviews. And, yeah, that's going to be it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Love y'all.